Good evening, Dr. Watson.
Good evening, Mr. Bartell. My goodness, you're bundled up. It must be a cold evening. Come and join me by the fire.
Thanks, Doctor. Quite a nip in the air tonight.
Yes, there is indeed.
Well, Watson, it has been quite some time since I've seen you and Holmes about the town. What have you two been up to?
Holmes has embroiled himself in another case. You know how he is. If he isn't working, he suffers from all sorts of maladies. Actually, I hope he's having a real puzzle this time.
And why is that? Surely you don't want criminals to outwit the great Sherlock Holmes.
No, only to make his mind out of her. The woman.
At long last? You mean that Sherlock has, finally...
No, nothing like that. Well, something like that. You had better pour yourself a glass of port and I'll tell you all about this previous case. But you must promise not to tell a soul about the scandal in Bohemia.
Mr. Holmes? Oh, never mind. Dr. Watson! Mr. Holmes, it's Dr. Watson!
Mr. Hudson, so good to see you. I was just passing by and I saw the figure of my dear friend pacing by the windows. Holmes, is some new problem vexing you?
Watson! Yes, some matter troubles me. But I see you are now without your own struggles. Back in practice again. And your marriage, while blissfully happy, has caused you some little struggles with that housemaid. I imagine you've recently had to let her go.
What? How in the world did you know that? The marriage, I assume, is nothing but pleasantries, but...
Errantry, my dear chap. Only a doctor walks in with nitrate of silver on his hands. As for the trouble with your housemaid, your shoes are scraped and there's tea on your waistcoat. The housemaid always scrapes your boots and loves to spill stuff on your tie. And as for happily wed, dear Watson, I see you've put on some pounds from spending time with your beloved at home.
Same as ever, Holmes. And you are entirely correct. I came to London to see about having these shoes repaired when I passed by. Now, tell me all about your new case.
A pleasing little problem. This letter arrived by the last post today. It has neither signature nor address. Read it.
This evening, a gentleman will call upon you to discuss a matter of greater secrecy and importance. Your recent services to one of the royal houses of Europe have shown that you are one who may safely be trusted. Wait for us at your home, but don't be alarmed if your visitor wears a mask. Great Scott, Holmes! This sounds very mysterious. What do you imagine it means?
Look at the note carefully, Watson. What do you deduce from it?
Let's see. Well, the man who wrote it was presumably well-to-do. Such paper couldn't be bought for under half a crown a packet. And it's peculiarly strong and stiff.
Peculiar. That's the very word. When you held it up to the light, did you notice anything?
The manufacturer's mark. There's a large E with a small G.
Put it on, my dear fellow. The G of the small T stands for Gesellschaft. It is the German for company. The E stands for Igria, a German-speaking country in Bohemia. Not far from Carlsbad.
So the paper was made in Bohemia.
Undoubtedly. And the man who wrote it is a German. There are some little irregularities in the wording, especially in the verbs.
So the paper was made in Bohemia. Where's your guide now? I better go, Holmes.
No, stay and assist me, Watson. Your boots are not so urgent, are they?
Well, I thought you might prefer to handle things on your own, since my recent absence.
Stay, my dear chap. I'll be lost without you, and this promises to be interesting. Mr. Hudson!
Yes, Mr. Holmes.
There will be a masked visitor at the door. Let him in, will you?
Certainly, Mr. Holmes. Oh my! Come in. Mr. Holmes has been expecting you.
You received my note.
Yes, indeed. Won't you sit down?
This is a confidential matter.
This is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. You miss anything before him that you can say to me? Whom have I the honor to address?
You may address me as Count von Kron.
How do you do, sir?
You must excuse this mask that I wear. I am acting for a person of great importance, and he wishes for his identity to remain unknown. The title that I've given you is an illness.
I was well aware of that fact, sir.
Yes, you see, you're well of that fact.
There's a little that escapes my notice. Pray, continue.
You see, the facts are these. Some 5 years ago, the matter I'm about to discuss implicates the great house of Ormstein, the hereditary king of Bohemia.
That had not escaped him either, sir. In fact, if you will state your case, I shall be better able to advise you. Your Majesty.
How? How did you know that? Yes, I am the king. Why should I thought to conceal it?
Why indeed?
Mr. Holmes, I have traveled incognito from Prague for the express purpose of consulting with you.
Then, pray, consult.
The facts are these. Some 5 years ago, on an adventure to Warsaw, I met the well-known adventuress Irene Adler.
Irene Adler? We know of her, Your Majesty. A great beauty with an exceptional voice.
Ah, yes, Irene Adler, born in New Jersey in the United States, a former opera singer, now living in London. You see, Your Majesty, I stay informed on all important personages. What is your business with the young lady?
She has some documents that I require, ones that used to be in my possession.
Documents.
Personal documents concerning both parties.
Was there a secret marriage?
No,
Are these legal papers or certificates?
no, nothing like that.
Then I fail to follow, Your Majesty. Are these mere letters that she wishes to use to blackmail you? If so, why come to me? You can clearly prove they're fakes.
There's the handwriting.
That could be a forgery, Your Majesty.
There's my private notepaper, only used in the royal household.
Stolen.
My seal.
Imitated.
My own photograph.
Bought.
But you see, we were both in the photograph.
Oh, dear me, it's quite a pretty little prom.
Did you write a note to the young lady on the photograph? Did you write a note to the young lady on the photograph, Your Majesty?
Yes, Dr. Watson, I'm afraid I did.
Good gracious me.
Mr. Holmes, the photograph must be recovered.
Perhaps, if you were paid to pay enough, the photograph might be bought.
Oh, trust me, I have tried. She refuses to sell. has ransacked her house.
What?
Once we diverted her luggage when she traveled. Twice she's been waylaid, yet there's been no result.
Man!
Oh, dear me. That's quite a pretty little problem.
It's quite a serious one to me.
Your Majesty, what does Miss Adler intend to do with the photograph?
To ruin me!
How, sir?
I'm about to be married to the daughter of the second king of Scandinavia. She's the heart and soul of delicacy. If she finds out about this matter, she will end our engagement immediately and cause an untold scandal in Bohemia.
So Irene Adler threatens to send a photograph to your fiancé. I see.
Yes. And she will do it too, rather than let me marry another woman. There are no lengths to it she will not go. None.
Are you sure that she hasn't already sent it, Your Majesty?
Yes, I am sure.
And why?
She told me she will send it the day that my betrothal is publicly announced. That day will be next Monday.
Splendid! Then we still have 30 days. Please stay in the present in London, Your Majesty.
Yes, of course. You will find me at the Lion Home Hotel, registered as Count von Kram.
Just 2 questions before you leave.
What are they?
Is the photograph large or small?
Quite large, heavy frame.
And what is Irene Adler's London address, please?
Bryony Lodge, St. John's Wood.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Good night. And I trust that we shall have some good news for you soon.
Good night. Good night, Dr. Watson.
Good night, Your Majesty.
And Mr. Holmes, I'm placing all my hopes in you.
Fascinating compliment. I wish I could help you with it.
You can, my dear chap. I shall be glad of your company.
What's our first move, Holmes?
First, a good night's rest. And then tomorrow, we shall journey nearest Bryony Lodge to see what we can find out about Miss Adler. Well,
Bless my soul. It's like we're different people.
Not even our own mothers would recognize us. Now, I suggest we play the role of a few stable hands who are seeking work with Miss Adler. This neighborhood is well known for its love of horses, grooms, and stable hands. They always seem gossiping freely amongst each other.
Brilliant, Holmes. Let's order, shall we?
Yes, but not in these voices. You stand up as an educator. No one would believe you're a stable hands looking for work. Let's go.
Well, what'll it be, chaps?
Half pints of bitter, please. How about you, Charlie?
Ugh, I like sherry. All the same.
2 halves it is. Here you are, lads.
Plenty to spare. Have a flood on the horses. Have a drink with us, Gov?
Don't mind if I do. You folks new around here?
Yes, we came from Chatham.
Chatham, eh? What brings you to this neck of the woods? You looking for work?
Yes, we heard across Briny Lodge, Miss Adler needs a new coachman and groom.
Well, it's the first I've heard of it, but it might be true. Have you been over to ask?
No, not yet. We thought we found out about the old lady first.
Old lady? She ain't no old lady, my fella. She's a pretty young thing. Talented and bright, too.
You know her, Gov?
Of course I do. Used to work for her, I did, before I came here.
What was she like as a boss then?
Well, as nice a little lady as you'll find.
Hard on the staff?
No, she lives quietly. But goes out singing at concerts once in a while. Goes out to the park at 5, comes back to dinner at 6:30. Rest of the time's your own.
Isn't she met, you said?
No, but she's got this bloke who comes to see her all the time. Mr. Jeffrey Norton's his name. He's a barrister. You misspelled Jeffrey. G-E-O-F-F-R-E-Y.
Thank you.
Good looking fella. Nice sort, dead sweet on her. Wouldn't be surprised to see him tie the knot soon.
Alright. Sounds like a nice cushy job to me. Come on, Charlie. Let's go to the house and see what's what. Much surprise to you, John.
Good luck, mates.
Great meeting you, sir.
What?
I mean, good night, Gov. What's our next move, Holmes? Do you propose we pay a call on the lady?
Well, I'm undecided whether to continue my investigations here or try and find something out about Mr. Norton, the barrister. If he is just a lawyer and nothing else, then it's most likely that she trusts him with the photograph in his safekeeping.
Do you still think the photograph is inside her house?
Hello.
Oh, hello? There's someone coming towards Miss Adler's house.
Shoot! What are you doing? Shoot! It must be Mr. Norton.
Wait,
Quick,
wait,
behind
wait, come on, come on. nor what pleasant surprise.
Miss Adler, she's departed.
Dash it all! Do you know where she went, Stevens?
She said she was going to meet you at St. Monica and her food happening.
This is perfect! Thank you so much! Cabby, wake up!
Try to no count, Watson. We must follow him! Excuse me! Old chum! Wait! Wait!
Yeah.
Good day, Mr. Norton.
Good day.
What? Yes.
Have they left?
Yes, they arrived shortly, but parted hardly a word.
Okay. Splendid! We must return to Baker Street.
Wait! But what happened inside the church, Holmes?
Oh, they were married.
Married?
Married!
Of course, a hasty ceremony, but legal nonetheless, as they last needed a last-minute witness.
A last-minute witness. You sound as if you went to the ceremony.
As a matter of fact, I did. Their own witness has failed to appear, and I was dragged into the breach. The bride gave me a sovereign for my troubles.
That certainly looks promising. For the king, if she cannot cause a scandal for herself and her new husband.
I hope so, Watson. But we can't afford to take any chances. I think the time has come to put our Majesty's mind at ease.
I must find a way into Miss Ada's home, Watson. So therefore, a more suitable disguise must be applied. Perhaps a simple clergyman?
And then what?
You must leave that to me. I've already made my arrangements. There will be some friends and ladies, employees of His Majesty, waiting our arrival at Miss Ada's home, or should I say, Mrs. Norton's home.
I understand perfectly. But, what is it that'll happen?
There will be a little accident. Do not interfere or become alarmed. It will end in my being conveyed into a house. I will open the window. You will watch from outside, then I will open the window. Then I will raise my hand, and you will throw this object. And at the same time cry, fire! You follow?
I understand perfectly. We're entirely. But what is this?
An ordinary plumber's smoke rocket, fitted with a cap at either end to make it self-lighting. Your task is confined to throwing it through the window. When you raise the cry of fire, it will be taken up by our friends in waiting. Head back to Baker Street straight away, and I'll rejoin you there. Come to think of it, Watson, you best darn to stay behind the skies, just in case anyone should recognize you.
Cuckoo.
People hanging around your gate.
All parties dismissed, young chap. You'll see them play the parts in a few minutes.
Do you still think the photograph is inside her house?
Yes, it's most unlikely she carries it about with her. And remember, the king said it was a large frame picture. And also remember that she plans to use it within a few days. It must be where she can lay her hands on it. It must be in a house.
But her house has been burglared twice.
They didn't know how to look.
How will you know where to look?
Shh! The game is afoot.
Ah, my foot! Ah, no, I'm so sorry, good sir.
Send for the doctor!
You can't live with a spit like this.
Tricking a man at the bar? For shame!
You poor man, bring him in here.
Thank you, my dear.
Stevens, Stevens, help the strong won't you?
Fire!
Good night, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I've heard that voice before.
Now I wonder who the deuce that could have been.
Settle yourselves, gentlemen, and tell me what I can bring you.
A nice clean drink, dear Hudson.
Very nicely, Doctor. Nothing could have been better. It's all right.
And then you have the photograph?
No. I know where it is. She showed me. As I told you she would.
What? How?
There's no mystery, old chap. When my accomplices arranged my injury, Miss Adler I procured my entrance into the house. Miss Adler had just assisted me to a chair. Then the smoke went in. And she showed me where the picture was. Then I looked outside after her.
What? When? During the fire? That's an odd time, I must say.
But dear fellow, when a woman thinks her house is on fire, her first instinct is to grab the most precious thing. A mother would save her children. A wealthy woman might save her jewel case. Miss Adler grabbed the photograph. She showed me where it was.
When was it?
Just above the right-hand bellful in the living room, in a secret spot. I could have come to that she drew it out. And I looked outside after her and informed her that my leg wasn't nearly as my foot wasn't nearly as injured as I thought, and that the fire was a false alarm.
You didn't take the photograph because she had grabbed it. I see.
I could hardly grab the photograph without causing suspicion. But now the king will meet us at Briny Lodge when the lady is called away. We'll soon retrieve our photograph!
briny lord, Your Majesty.
You're sure the photograph will be in there, Mr. Holmes?
I'm certain the photograph will be in there, Mr. King. I have every reason to believe so, Your Majesty.
I must confess, it's going to be quite an ordeal.
Then I suggest that you let me do the talking. I think I know how to handle the lady.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes, I believe.
Yes, I am Mr. Holmes.
You're expected, sir. Madame told me to be like we call. She's left for the continent with her husband.
You mean she's left England?
Never to return.
You mean the photograph? Everything? It's all gone?
We'll soon see. Wait here!
What, Dad? Now I wonder what the deuce is taking him so long.
Mr. Holmes, is the photograph there?
There is a photograph, Your Majesty, but it's a photograph of the lady alone. Here's a letter, and it's addressed to me.
What does it say, Mr. Holmes?
My dear Mr.
What does it say, Holmes?
My dear Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
You really did it very well. Up until the fire alarm, I had no suspicion. But then when I realized how I betrayed myself, I began to think. I had been warned that if the king were to employ an agent, it certainly would be you. May I congratulate you in your disguise as a dear old clergyman.
Great Scott, Holmes! Great Scott! She was much more clever than you thought, Holmes.
Go on, what else does it say?
My husband and I both thought the best reason was flight, so you will find the nest empty. As to the photograph of the king and myself, His Majesty may rest in peace. Well, thank goodness for that. I love and am loved by a better man than he. I do, however, leave another photograph that he might care to possess, and I remain, dear Mr. Sherlock Holmes, very truly yours, Irene Knowlton, née Bohemia.
What a woman, Watson! What a woman! What a magnificent woman! She fooled me completely. What? I'm sorry, Your Majesty. I've been unable to bring your business to a more successful conclusion.
On the contrary, good sir, nothing could be more successful than this. Irene Adler always keeps her word, and this is why I feared her so much.
Now I am relieved.
Now I am relieved!
Well, I'm glad to hear Your Majesty say so.
Pray, what can I pay you? I must give you something.
I would love to keep this photograph, sir.
Irene's photograph, of course, but I must be able to give you something more substantial.
Oh, no, Your Majesty. This is something I shall treasure all my life. This. The golden sovereign I received from the lady's hand. They will remind me that I was once tricked by a woman that I shall never forget!
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to our performance. These kids worked so hard on this. We wanted you to know that after our Shakespeare performance in December, the kids were so excited and really wanted to do another play. So Mrs. Wright and I got together, and Mrs. Culler actually wrote the play that you just saw. She adapted it from Arthur Conan Doyle's short story, A Scandal in Bohemia. So Mrs. Culler... and read the short story. Then we watched a couple of movies. We did a table read of the script, and then we began rehearsals. So we want to give, I want to introduce the cast and the stage crew, and I'd ask that you hold your applause until the groups actually get out on stage. So I'd like to first introduce the burglars, king servants, and the crowd. Ryan Stulak, Justin Moy, DJ Tedrow, Lasabian Brown, Sam Mansell, Spencer Rosin, and Isaac Baker Evans. Mr. James Bartell is Isaac Baker Evans. Mr. Hudson and the bartender is Spencer Rosin. Stevens the butler, DJ Tedrow. We had a last-minute understudy happening here. So Jeffrey Norton was to have been played by Sam Mansell, but at the last minute, Robert Adelson joined us as this role. I'd like to bring on the stage Sherlock Holmes and Watson disguised, Javon Hill and Lasabian Brown. The king of Bohemia himself, Robert Adelson. Please give a hearty round of applause for Dr. Watson, Jack Ryan. The magnificent woman herself, Irene Adler, Kira Mirtis. And let's give it up for Sherlock Holmes, Mark Mack. A special thanks to the stage crew that was led by Spencer Rosin and Sam Mansell. Stage crew, come on out. And they were helped tremendously by Miss Shannon Tillman. Special thanks to Isaac Baker Evans and Brian Stulak applause for his creation of the door. Again, thank you so much to Mrs. Culler for writing this and Mr. Bennett for his unending support. He allows us such creative freedom and expression and really supports having the kids bring out their best talents here. So thank you so much, Mr. Bennett. A shout out to Harley, Syracuse, and
Could I ask if we turn the house lights on, please, and then the spot off? That's very bright. I had to use the door, though. Thank you, Mr. President. I think our actors did an amazing job. Let's give it up. Mr. Ryan, I'm a little worried. Jack seems a little comfortable with the pipe. I think Mrs. Mack, you're fine. Mark spilled his all over. It was amazing. But none of this would have happened without the two wonderful English teachers and our directors. Mrs. Megan Wright, come on up. We weren't sure how it would go, but we know driving distances at night are hard for many families. And also thanks to Miss Levine and Mrs. Fredericks for helping us get it recorded. Last but not least, Mrs. McCone put together our
Yay!
I think that's it. Enjoy the afternoon again. Thank you for coming. We love working with your kids. Thank you so much.
Oh.